Hello, everybody. Adam Crowther here, team lead for the student experience team at DBS, and we're here for episode 3 of the Student Life podcast. So,
Woo! Clap, clap, clap.
Very bad.
Clap, clap, clap.
Delighted to be joined this week. Who just arrived is from London. We've got Kesya Rodrigues, who is our VP for Communications. Hello.
Hello, guys. What up?
I thought you were going to have an English accent there, Kes, but no. You're back to your Portuguese Dublin
Accent, yeah.
accent. Is there, where Portuguese or, and Dublin English, does that mix? Like, is there, no, you Spanglish?
I think that sometimes when I was in London, people would say, oh, I can hear an Irish accent there. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
I'm honoured that you have that now, Kes, which is great. But nice to have you here. We're also joined by Iona Quinn again, who is our president of the Students' Union.
Can't get enough of me.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
And we are joined for the first time as well by one of our ENTS officers, Whelan. So,
hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
All good.
So we've an elite team here today. As I said, this is episode 3, and today we'll be talking about getting started in college. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to be chatting. Obviously, all the guys here are third-year students with a wealth of experience of being students online and in, obviously, DBS. Kesya is a third-year business informations student. Iona Quinn is a third-year psychology student. And Whelan is studying in his third year for film and media. So hopefully, what little wisdom you guys maybe have will be imparted to
Well, we'll
to these
see about
guys.
that.
We'll see.
So before we get started, I suppose currently inductions going on at the moment. How have they been going?
Good.
Yeah,
good.
really interesting. Getting
Yeah.
to meet new people.
Yeah.
Everyone
Faces
looks
as
very
well.
excited. To
What's
be
the
back in
faces
college.
like on the Zooms at the moment? Is it scared, excited?
Actually, a lot of cameras on.
Oh,
And
good to see. We like
Yeah.
cameras on.
a few that are bored,
Mm.
but a lot of excitement.
Yeah, you can't beat the face-to-face stuff, but
No.
yeah, and I suppose we're excited about events and everything else.
Yeah,
can't wait.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Okay. So I suppose for the guys tuning in today, what can they look forward to next week? Because it's orientation week next week, or when they listen to it, it might be orientation week. Anything major for the guys to look forward to?
Yeah, so on the Monday we have a photo hunt.
Okay.
And then on the Thursday we have paint and wine. On the Friday we have a SU scavenger hunt.
Okay.
And then on Saturday I believe it's Tick Knock.
Ticknock
Yeah.
Forest and a beach swim, I believe. So
Yeah.
bring your swim shorts or bikinis, or if you're a nudist, I suppose.
Don't
you
bring
can-
that.
Don't bring anything. Bring a few leaves to dry yourself off with, or whatever. But anyway, you're all very welcome, and this episode is about getting started in college life. So my first question to you guys is, let's talk about your first day in college. Who remembers their first day? This is probably
Oh,
2
3
years ago.
3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember it wasn't my first day. I had inductions in the college. I had to go on a scavenger hunt with, I believe it was Skander. Funny enough, he was wearing a suit. Don't know how he was wearing a suit. It was roasting outside
This
that
is
day.
one of the SU officers.
This was one of the SU officers
Okay.
on the day. It was good. We did a scavenger hunt. Went for a pint in the Lucky Duck. I don't know if any of you's been.
It's a local pub here.
Local pub around here. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really nice pint. And then
Did you get a pint of Guinness?
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, essential for
Mm.
essential for your first day of
Essential.
college is to get yourself a pint of Guinness somewhere local. Yeah. Were you apprehensive coming in, or?
Yeah, at the start, I was working for the year before that, so it's just weird going into that college mindset again. And it was like my first ever kind of experience being in a kind of like college setting. So it was good, but it was kind of nerve-wracking as well.
And what about you, Iona? Do you remember your first day? Many moons ago. No.
No, yeah, I do remember it. I remember.
How are you feeling?
I was kind of nervous, yeah. I was nervous to not make friends on the day because I don't like being lonely.
Okay.
But,
Did you think nobody would talk to you and you'd
Yeah.
all be mean and rude? Or?
yeah.
Okay.
No, I remember sitting in, I think, not inductions, but the place where we were getting our cards. And I was remembering, like, scanning over the room and the people in. I was like, oh, who's my kind of people here? And I focused on one girl. and I made sure to sit beside her.
You were just staring at her saying,
No, like
That's
just
my girl.
stare. That's my friend. That's gonna be my friend.
So she didn't know any of this.
No, I
So
sat down behind.
Is that consensual? Is that
Well, she's my friend now, but
oh, your friends, really?
yeah. And I sat next to her,
Who's the student?
Lorena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lorena.
Yeah. I sat down next to her, and I remember just acting as though I didn't know. I'm very organized, so I know exactly what's gonna happen next. But I was like, "Do you know like what we're doing here? Like, what are we waiting for?" And she was
cool.
like answering my question, and from there on, we've been friends ever since.
Okay.
No.
So is that is that a technique you would endorse? Find someone that you want.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
Is that a bit creepy though?
It is very creepy, but it's true, no?
So,
Don't be
You
as
can
creepy as
see the
that.
people. You can see the people that are your people. I feel no.
Maybe
Did you
you're
do
not
that
their
first?
people.
Yes, yes.
No,
Forcing them
I don't
to-
need.
was that did you have a similar tactic or?
No, my first day was very messy. I missed inductions and I missed my first class.
Oh my
And
god.
then I got into my second class and there was about like 50 people there and I was like, wow, that's
And
scary.
It does highlight the importance of
Yeah.
completing the inductions because you get oriented with the college, particularly the likes of the scavenger hunt that you talk about, Ross, is
Yeah.
really important. Like it's nonsensical in a sense that you don't like. There's no real purpose to it, but you just get to meet people and get to have a bit of fun. Having a pint of Guinness just with some familiar faces. Hopefully they're your age or they're your kind of people, whatever it is that
She
you
ended
look
up.
for.
She ended up being bilingual as well, and in my class. So it works. Okay,
Well,
I'm good at that.
That's a pretty close call.
Yeah, but like, don't
yeah.
miss inductions
No.
because like this class, my second class, the lecturer said, okay, get together with people, you have a presentation in 2 days. And I didn't know anybody because I didn't go to the induction, so...
Okay, that must have been very stressful. How did you manage to overcome that? Or
Oh, I didn't. I was just like, can I please? I was just begging people, can I please be in your group? It worked.
did someone let you in?
Oh, yeah, of course they did.
Okay, that's okay. But I suppose the message here is get in early, find a person that looks like, or if you feel like you
Doesn't
connect
look like
with,
me at all.
and don't miss induction. If I'm to go through this, if there's 3 lessons of the first kind of question, that's where we're at. I suppose, did you make any friends on your first day?
Yeah.
Like you were on the scavenger hunt, Ross.
Yeah, so it was funny. The first day, I had a bit of problems with my administration things for college, and I didn't get my timetable yet, so I had to go and talk to the IT and reception. And funny enough, one of my pals had the same problems as well.
Okay.
So we were both in the same course as well, which is funny enough. And we ended up being on the scavenger hunt, and then we went out to one of the nights out in college.
Nice.
But yeah, been best pals ever since. Like,
And did you knew him before you went to college?
no, not you.
Oh, so okay. So, and I do think that whole shared experience can be very
Close, like yeah,
you can
you
really
bring
tie
close-
it together,
yeah.
like if it's good or bad. I suppose,
Bit of both.
Yeah. So no matter what, I suppose just being able to relate to someone does make things
Yeah,
easy. But
definitely.
that's good. What about you, Iona? Did you make any friends on the first day that you stayed with? Obviously, Lorena.
Yeah, I met
Okay.
Lorena.
Anyone else?
Yeah, we went on the scavenger hunt, and I met most of my group of friends. on
Did you win the
hunt.
scavenger hunt? Because there's a prize for anyone who doesn't know. Scavenger hunt runs every Friday for the first 3 weeks, and you can win DBS hoodies and Domino's pizza vouchers
Ooh
for
la
the
la.
winners. So
Woohoo.
not only will you get a chance to meet people, you get the chance to win some useless free stuff.
Yay!
Hey. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I did not win.
You didn't.
No,
Okay. Well, that's
but it was fun.
not good. But what about you, Kes?
The first day,
You were kind of dropped literally
Yeah.
in the middle of a
class,
melting
yeah.
pot.
So, yeah, like I met actually Anna. She's in the SU as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes.
met her on the first day. Camila, a bunch of Brazilians.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you know she was your kind
She
of crew?
scanned
Is
and
that
she
what?
Yeah. found the Brazilian
exactly.
scene.
Like, where's
I
my
found the
tribe?
bilingual.
Oh, there you
Well,
go. That's me.
That's a survival technique, I guess. You know,
It
you
works.
find who your friends are and safety in numbers. So your primitive instincts do kick in to survive in a stressful environment. So
Exactly.
wise words. But for any students maybe tuning in, maybe that's the thing. So go to events. You will
Yeah.
find people like yourself, even if you are an international student, a mature student. There is a wide variety of, I suppose,
Yeah.
profile students who do attend their events. So we hope that you do have some sort of relief in knowing that.
Yeah.
You know. So I suppose let's think about your first day and maybe start with you on this one, Kez. what worried you most about getting started in college? Like, what were you most kind of apprehensive or maybe fearful of coming in on your kind of first, maybe the days before you started? What was your apprehension? Was it like fear of not being smart enough, or everyone not liking it,
Not
or
that one.
Not that one either.
Yeah.
I think it was like English, because like English isn't my first language, so I was just really worried about assignments, like presentations, like am I going to be able to manage everything? How am I going to survive? But, well, I made it, and if I did, anyone else can do it.
And I suppose, so let's unpack that a little bit. Like, how did you overcome that, or were you at a level that you were actually okay with, or did you actively work on it, or what was your kind of...
Like for presentations, what I did was, it was when we started having like the societies, like the societies week, what is it called?
Open days.
Yeah, the open days, and then the first thing I did was join the public speaking society, and like I met a lot of people there, and everyone was really nice, and like I would practice with them. So that was like something that really helped me at the start, joining like public speaking society for presentations and like to write assignments and stuff like that. It was just fine, you know. It was just here in my head.
Yeah, I think nearly with this and other things, it's nearly the thought of it is worse than the actuality. Like, you know, it's once it starts, you realize that, you know, you just take it bit by bit, because you can think of, for any students who are starting maybe for a full year, maybe for 3 years, that the thoughts of doing 3 full years, oh my God, how am I going to find the time? How am I going to do this and that? And you overthink, and then you just take it day by day, class by class, hour by hour, and it kind of looks after itself really, and you know, you take it bit by bit. But that's a great kind of story of how you've overcome it. So
yeah,
good stuff. What about you, Iona? What kind of what were your main concerns getting started in college, or what was you thinking, you know, for long term? What was your...
I think my sounds a bit stupid, but my first worry was making friends and having a pack, because I'm not good. Well, no, I could have been alone, but I don't like it. But also, I was working before, so I was like getting back into studying, which I didn't think I'd have a problem at it, but I just thought, oh, I have to do it, so hopefully I did it well, and I did. So here I am, like 2 years later. But no, other than that, no, I was just fitting in, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So you knew the college part would look after itself and the studying, but it was more just
the social side. Yeah, because I was scared that being international, a lot of the students there were gonna already have friends or already know people, and if not in the college, in Dublin. So I wanted to make sure that I had a spot somewhere in some group. That sounds super sad.
Yeah, no, look, I think a lot of people could probably relate to that they do want to feel connected, and I suppose just relative to some people, like, you know, which is really important. And I think there's definitely some messages in that as well. What about yourself, Ross? Do you remember any fears you had coming to college?
I say, like, the main fear for me was going from like a work mindset to a study mindset. Like for that whole year, after school, I was just working, so I was just so fixated on this is all I have to do, just work, and that's it, nothing else. And then going to college, it was like, I wouldn't say a shock, but it was in a way, like, it was going back to studying, like making sure you actually do get the work done, and making sure, like, just keeping on top of tasks. That's the main thing I found kind of difficult to start, because I wasn't used to it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say that would be the main kind of thing with it.
And I suppose even just from my own experience as well, I do think that like I studied part-time while I was working at DBS, and I myself, you know, I had a full-time job, very busy, a lot of after hours. I was involved with a sports team, I had friends, you know, everything else going on in your life, and you find when you start something really big like college that the smaller things just vanish, and you continue with the most important thing. So everything will just kind of work out, and you just kind of prioritize. And I think that's a really important message for anyone may be apprehensive for the couple of weeks ahead. That will definitely help in the long run, and so on. So that might hopefully give you some guidance around that. So I suppose the next one is maybe what was the first event that you went to when you were in DBS? So
The first event?
yeah.
First event was a night out in the Bernard Shaw. I actually met Ross that night as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a good night. It was like there was a bunch of like all the first years went out
Okay.
that night. So like
This was pre-COVID, am I right? This is
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah,
2018.
No, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
The glory days
I know.
when you could go for a pint randomly and you
Yeah.
didn't have to book in and
Yeah.
life was good.
We were eating
Okay.
pizza out of each other's hands. No.
Probably. We lived good.
Yeah, we did.
But no, that was your first event?
Yeah, that was the first proper event with college. It was really enjoyable. Kind of you get to know like more people, and you get to see like there's more people in DBS that are similar to you. It's not like individual people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have met the people that I'm best mates with today from not going to that event. So
Excellent. And for anyone who maybe does or doesn't know, Bernard Shaw was an institution to say the least. It was like the hippie paradise.
Yeah.
You could stand, you stood outside the whole day. There was
In
a
the
pizza
bus.
bus.
Yeah, I remember eating pizza in the bus and
Yeah.
talking to strangers.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Those
drinking
are,
your pint as well.
Yeah.
those were good days. And it was cheap drink and the students always loved it. And
It's
it was
still
very
open.
close.
It's open
Is
up
it?
in Glasslevin. It's
Not
not like
the
as it
same.
was
It's
before
not
though.
the same.
No, it's not the same.
Not
It's
the
not
same.
great.
The smoking area or the beer garden is the canal
Well
now,
gone.
or whatever.
The
But,
canal,
not as
the
good.
canal.
What about yourself, Iona? Was that your first event?
Yeah,
or was
that
it-
was my
it your
first event.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember as well. We went to a nightclub afterwards, Everly's
Everly,
or
yeah.
something.
Everly Garden,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
That
as
was
well.
fun.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, we're really like this is
This is turning into a
very
sad
morbid.
podcast.
Everything's just gone. Nothing exists anymore.
Nothing's here now.
Kez, what about you?
I can't remember. I think it was like some society
Well,
event.
That's a good
and then,
sign.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that was
Yeah,
gonna
that-
say. And then we got drunk and we ended up in Dicey's or something like that. So.
Okay.
That's still open. Yeah.
Yeah. So at least, well,
Well,
We
no,
hope-
I don't
but
know.
hope.
Well,
it's not
it will.
closed.
Hopefully it will open. I'll be there queuing.
yeah.
Me and another
First in
2,000
line.
Brazilians.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Dicey's Garden was another institution. It was €2 drinks most nights, and I think it was $1.50 on a Tuesday if you went down. €1.50 in Dublin for a drink is Pretty-
It
It
wasn't
was-
great.
It was great. Yeah. Oh my god.
Don't get the Guinness
He
there.
said it wasn't
No.
great. He said it was,
It was
great.
It was great.
Getting the Guinness and Dicey's for €1.50 is shit.
Like,
Well,
you
look.
don't go to Dicey's and drink Guinness. You drink something
you
else.
see people drinking Guinness and Dicey's.
They're in the wrong place then.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's gone off.
Yeah, you got like a ball of
Bulmer.
Quinn
It's
or
just
something.
the end of a barrel kind of job,
Oh.
like, you know. But anyway, well, I suppose another question I have, and I suppose we've got quite a diverse, because we've got obviously, you know, Iona's you've a dual citizen. You're an EU
Yep.
student, I suppose. You're French and Irish. You know, Ross, you're an Irish student, and then Kez, you're from Brazil, so you would be classified as an international student. Do you think there's differences between the three, like the apprehension for a domestic student and a European student and an international? And maybe we'll start with you, Iona. Like, did you find it difficult?
Adapting to the city, no.
You were fluent English, though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm fluent in English and French, but and I kind of knew Dublin, so that wasn't a big part. It was more the adapting to the like grading criteria and all of like the actual schoolwork in uni, which didn't really follow what we did in France. So that was the thing that I had to get used to and understand. To be honest, at the end of year one, I still didn't understand everything. I was asking people to count my module
I worked
percentages.
here like 6 years. I still don't understand it, so don't worry. You'll be forgiven for that one. Okay, but I suppose
Yeah, no.
you were okay getting oriented with the city and
Yeah. I made sure to like to really take time and know where I was going and know the places I wanted to do, and I also tried to join clubs and things and meet Irish students so that I could be more Irish in Dublin and do Irish things.
And I suppose coming to you then, Ross, like being a domestic student, and is it nearly different for domestic students because you have your family network, you've got your, you know, you're probably involved in a community group or a club or something, and therefore you may be less open to being involved in things a bit more, or do you think there's a different maybe outlook for domestic students?
See, it's a hard thing to answer, because obviously I have my own perspective. Like, I've known Dublin my whole life, so it'd be different for me studying abroad, let's say, like being in that kind of culture, like I wouldn't really know what the difference is, if that makes sense.
But you rely less on. So let's jump to Kes then.
Yeah.
So you really probably relied on the college network to help your English, to develop friendships, to for events, for socialising, for a lot more. So there's probably naturally a bigger gravitation to the college.
Oh, yeah,
so it's probably
definitely.
more important to international students.
Yeah, because like even though I was here for 2 years, like all my friends, they were Brazilians. But then when I started college, like I got to meet a lot of people from everywhere, and like learning more about like cultural difference, because like it was something that like I didn't know. It was just like I was here for 2 years, like, and I knew a few things, but things that you just like learn by day, when you see, say, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing that, or maybe I shouldn't be saying those things because it's just like not right, or
Well,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Still working on that part.
yeah. But no, it is interesting. Like, just I suppose there's probably greater apprehension for international learners because it's a bigger jump to come to a college, whereas there's probably more having your family around or having your friends, working in the city. You could just come to college and live, whereas maybe international learners and the European guys are maybe depending that bit more on the college and each other. So I suppose for any students maybe listening in, be mindful of an international learner, a European student, wanting to learn more from other people, but also I think contrast to that is they want to meet people from Ireland, and they're saying, well, I'm just coming in to get my education, I'm going to go, I have a part-time job, I've got my family and my club at home. Maybe they need to be maybe more aware of just offering more time and just even conversations. Yeah, I think so.
Open-minded, 100%, because like obviously Irish, they're all dependent on their own culture, but it's good to understand like different people's cultures from all over the world, and you get to see that they're not so fixated on other things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's funny. Like I'm obviously working here a long time, and I've seen a lot of students come and go. And one thing I'm most proud of is when I see people who've graduated a long time ago and they've made European friends or international friends, and they visit them in their own cities, and you're kind of going, wow, what? Like that's just amazing. That the friendships that they've fostered by being open-minded to different people, they go visit them. I don't think anyone's going to visit you in Brazil, Kes.
Iona went to London.
I went to London.
Oh, well, then that's a perfect example. And it was really interesting. I seen some pictures last weekend. One of the girls in the SU a few years back, Alexis Gumbo, if you are listening, shout out to you, had a lovely baby. Her name is Ava. Beautiful Irish name. And she had it was a baby's first birthday, and there was like 8 or 9 people who were former SU officers, and they were all there for a baby shower, and I was like, it was a lovely thing because the journey they had by being open-minded, and they let other people into their lives and were curious just to develop more friendships. They had really deep connection with these people, and then they continued over a long period of time. So I would encourage anyone maybe starting this year to be open-minded, particularly if you're a domestic student, European or international learner. Allow these people into your life, and you can always have a free couch to sleep on. And surf on. What's it called? Couch
surfing. Yeah.
So when you can surf on the couch, it might be thrown out. I don't know what goes on in Kes's living room, but it's probably surfing going on there.
No comment.
Anyway, moving on. We start with you on this one, Iona. What was it like getting started in a busy city centre? So, coming to the city, other colleges have big, large campuses and they're quiet and peaceful and so on. But you come to DBS, you get off the bus, there's trucks, there's cars, there's vans, there's Deliveroos, there's everything going on.
Deliveroos.
Kes used to work for Deliveroo back in the good old days. But she fell off the bike and she actually had stabilizers on her bike, so it wasn't working out. I'm only joking. No, but what was it like getting started in the city for you? Was it overwhelming, overbearing?
I personally don't mind the city because I grew up in London as well, so like the city is my kind of area, and But the cool thing about Dublin is that it's like the city, but it also has the sea, and it's got the mountain, and it's got the countryside.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wasn't lost, and I kind of enjoyed the fact that it has all of those. Because one thing I do think I would have missed was like the sea, the ocean, all of that. I think I become quite claustrophobic if it's not there.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about DBS is that it's in the center of town, so like everything is around us, and I like my good food, so
Yeah. Well,
there's a
you
lot
are
of choices.
spoiled for choice around there for lunchtime. It's you nearly have more arguments about where to go than.
oh my god,
you know,
every time
I don't
we
want this, I
we
don't want
leave
that.
the building going like, oh, what are we gonna eat, and then we have to walk around for half an hour not
Yeah.
knowing what to eat.
Because there's probably
Always-
30
too many
restaurants within
too many choices.
100 meters at least, maybe more. Yeah. What about you, Kez? Did you kind of did you enjoy the prospect of being in the city, or
Yeah,
like?
of course. Well, I've been here for 6 years and I'm still getting lost.
Oh,
It's just because like I'm dumb.
okay.
Well,
That's the only reason.
we didn't
But,
say
like-
that.
Glad you said it. No.
Well, yeah, it was nice. It's the same thing. Like so many like places to go around. Like after college, when I get a drink, literally cross the road,
Yeah.
Low.
or just like next door.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are like many options for food, drinks, and
Yeah.
like here it's like easy to get anywhere. So
Yeah. And you kind of find a lot of students hang around because, well, a few years back, when I first started, like Wi-Fi wasn't. You had to get the password off people. It wasn't really 3G network. But everyone used to come in to get
The Wi-Fi?
Yeah, just come in to get Wi-Fi and just chill out because they were going to go for drinks after or do something like that. So it's always a real shelter for people who are maybe going out to socialise or to go hang out or go to the cinema or museum, whatever it is. So a lot of that is available, which is great. What about you, Ross? Did you find it nice to be in the city or overburdened?
Oh yeah,
Or
oh, no, I love the city.
Yeah.
Like I just live beside the coast, so like I'm used to that kind of like aspect of living in Dublin. But like I love being in the city. Like you get to meet so many faces, and it's like some funny, like some, just the people in town, like town in general. There's something else. Let's just say.
I have to agree with
Say the
that.
least. It is absolutely crazy when you
Yeah.
Some good people.
Yeah, good people, funny people as well.
Yeah, interest characters to say.
Characters.
Yeah, characters. Characters.
Yeah. So any new students listening in, you will meet a lot of characters around.
Need to be careful
around
as
the
well.
city. Yeah. No, but we do kind of cover a lot of the city safety during the induction period. So hopefully that does prepare you for it. But you are right. It can be it can be an interesting place to say the least. But no, personally, like I absolutely love where I get to work and where students get to study. There's a lot on offer, as you said, Iona.
Yeah.
You can be at the coast in 20 minutes. You can be in the mountains in 30 minutes, and you have all the cultural amenities on your doorstep, and you can walk to a museum on your lunch and be back for your next class.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of places that can offer that, and even for maybe students looking for part-time work, there's a lot of cafes, bars, restaurants,
Loads.
places that are doing part-time employment as well. So the places you work can be a stone's throw from the college too.
And you meet
So-
friends there as well and work. Like it's another
Yeah.
place to make friends.
which is great. So but no, the only thing is the cyclists they're
Yeah.
just flying around the place. So we need to
Very
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. So
You would know.
yeah, and I suppose
Can
obviously.
cycle, where you looking at me?
She actually
How are
can't
you delivering something?
on her back, just
Yeah, walking. Why do you think my legs are sore?
She got sacked because she was walking. The only delivery that was walking. You were jogging between places with a big
Shit
backpack.
stabilizers on her bike.
on a hoverboard.
Oh, God, that's the next level. Yeah. Anyway, if you do get a Deliveroo from Kez when you are working,
It'll be cold.
make
It'll
sure
be
you
late.
give her 4-star reviews on Radar.
It'll be an hour and a half late though.
Yeah, and
And
probably
cold.
cold. And, yeah, so don't get a McFlurry and a milkshake from
On a sunny
McDonald's.
day.
Why not
Yeah.
get anything? Because I'll probably eat on the way.
Probably. Okay, so obviously the purpose of today is getting started in college life. So my question now to you guys is advice. So we would start with you, maybe Ross. What advice would you give to students maybe getting started now this week or next week if they're running late like maybe Kez was? Or
Get in touch if you have a problem with college. Get in touch with your lecturers. Your lecturers are there to help you. Like they're willing to help you. If you just put in the work, they're willing to help you. Get like, get friendly with people, chat to people, like, try get out of your comfort zone. I know it can be hard, but trust me, you'll have the best experience by doing so.
Okay.
And make sure you go to events.
Yeah.
Like, that's another way of making friends, and then go to societies as well. That's another place of making friends.
Okay. What about you, Iona? What advice would you offer our lovely listeners today, our lovely new students to DBS?
Yeah, I would say like Ryan. Oh my goodness, I said Ross. Like Ross said. Yeah, definitely join a club or a society, because I met most of my friends in the music society, because that's what I was interested in. As well, join a sports team. Like, I joined the rugby club, and that made such a difference. Like, I felt as though I belonged somewhere. And then for classes, if you have a problem, just deal with it on the spot. Don't no me with
I'm about to say, what? Just, I want this solved now.
No.
It's like 6:30, the lecture's trying to go, you ain't going anywhere.
We're solving this
This
now.
is getting done right now. So maybe not the right advice to give.
Don't do
but,
Iona.
I'm a bit aggressive.
Don't do that.
So maybe abbreviate on that a bit more. Then.
No, I mean, don't wait till you're closer to exams or closer to the assignment. That when all of your insecurities, like work-wise, all start to pile up and work becomes really complicated. If you have questions, just email your lecturers. I think they're all really good at answering questions in the right time.
Yeah.
So.
And I suppose don't let it linger. Like, try and nip it in the bud early, or you know, even if it's
that's what
if
I
you're
meant.
overwhelmed with yourself. We do have life skills workshops, and we do have things that will be available to students to help them cope during
the
the year.
library as well really helps, like for referencing and stuff, because I know it's a big part of it.
Okay.
No matter.
Kez is looking here saying, "What's the reference?"
What's
you know,
What's
so
the library?
What's the library?
No
yeah.
way.
I'm kind of wondering how you got
Sorry.
through this the last 2 years, Kez. Yeah. But no, I think the library is definitely a fantastic resource. You can drop into them again, which is great. But there's also a wealth of resources available on the DBS library, and if you go onto the library page on dbs.ie, you'll be able to navigate through it. What about you, Kez? What advice would you offer students in terms of getting adjusted to life?
I think I would have to agree with the guys, like join societies. One thing that I did at the start, actually, I only joined societies. I only went to society events. Like, I didn't go to, like, social
Class?
night outs. No.
Yeah, you're meant to go to
But
class,
I was
Kez,
very,
yeah.
like, okay, I have to study, and all I can do is just, like, business, society, all this, like, not boring, but, like, more professional things. That's all I had in mind. And then I was like, okay, I made friends, but I felt like half of my first year, I didn't do as much because I was too focused only on this. And I could have went out, like, more and like made more friends if I was going to like parties and stuff like that. And also, like, if anyone has any questions, like if it's not related to assignments, like fourth floor, Joanne, Iris, Hamza, Laura, knock the door.
Yeah,
and
Can I have
even if you have
can I have a ladder? Ladder for you.
No, I mean, even socially, you can come up to the SU. I feel that the SU is a great resource for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
mentors
Talk
as
to
well.
us.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scared, you know. Like,
no.
Yeah.
We're not scary.
Well,
we're
that's
not.
debatable. They haven't
So
seen
bad.
me yet.
Yeah.
So.
Me screaming, complaining all the time.
Yeah. No,
Avoid Kez. If you see her, walk the other way.
I'm just glad this is a podcast so no one can actually see how you guys look. So. No, it's a fair point, and I think that would be good advice as well. As you know, it shouldn't be too much play.
No.
It shouldn't be too much work. You know, you have to have
Find a balance.
both.
Balance,
Yeah, I think so.
Balance.
And look after yourself as well. I think that's a big thing. Don't be too hard on yourself at times, because I know some of our students are very driven to achieve, and sometimes it's good to just be a random student and hang out and do.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Don't get worked over something so small.
In terms of if English isn't the first language of some students, have you any advice on practice? I know you alluded to it earlier, Kez, but have you any advice on students?
Just like don't be afraid and just go talking to people. Like
Yeah.
if you're saying something wrong, Iona will correct it. So it's
Yeah.
like
In a nice way.
like,
Oh my
this
goodness.
word doesn't exist.
I wonder what those bruises were in your arm. Is she hitting you?
What?
Because-
I have the bruises.
Oh, it's the other way around, is it? Okay.
I don't bruise.
Yeah. But she,
The perks.
Iona can't speak English half the
Oh
time.
my
as well,
goodness.
Well, but she didn't
Yes.
correct me, so.
Is that right? You speak
Oh.
French half the time by mistake.
Quoi?
Cool. I just slip French words in it,
It's like she'd
okay?
be talking English and then like 2 seconds later, French word.
But I
pops
don't know
in.
why I
Vol
do
au
that.
vent, yeah.
What?
Alright,
Vol au
what?
vent? Nobody says vol au vent. I've never.
Quoi?
He's just saying random words now.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I was gonna say as well, because I know I did that, but nobody in first year knew that I was French, because I never spoke French. Never. Even the French people didn't know I was French. I made a point to be friends with all the French people and never speak French to them, so they had to speak English to me. And at the end of the year, when they did realize I was French,
You spoke French.
because I spoke French,
Oh, no.
we continued to talk to each other in. I just spoke French again.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, we kept talking to each
We
other
said
in
we
English.
Huh?
there,
Yeah.
there.
How they didn't
Oh, is that a
realize
stutter?
they were French?
Huh?
How like they did not realize they were French? Like with all
So they
your
speak
like quas and.
French. Well, I think this is even more recent. I think I'm adding them on now. I don't know why. My brain is a bit slow. I
Yeah,
think.
it's very warm in this podcast room, just so you know. So, we have
The
to
tiny
open-
box.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, look, I think it is very difficult for learners who are, doing assignments and presentations. I can't imagine what it's like to be going in and doing a presentation in a different language, particularly if you aren't fluent in it and so on. So huge
Yeah.
respect to anyone doing that. Okay, I'll change it a little bit up now. What was the one thing that you know now that you wish you knew in first year? And we'll start with Kes first.
Oh, thank goodness, because I need to think about this.
Yeah, we'll give Iona a friend a
One
minute.
thing. Man, I don't know. I knew everything.
Oh, here.
Still,
No, I didn't.
It's a bit of a tough. So maybe I will start. So
Yeah,
if I
you
was
start.
starting at DBS, I would tell myself if I was starting first year or starting a year in college to enjoy it more. You try and get. I don't know if you're trying to do too much or you're too apprehensive or you've too much kind of fear or too much going on that you're nearly tied up in the next part and you're thinking about what's ahead and you're not really enjoying the present, and having the amazing people around you is maybe something you don't maybe take enough time for and say, oh my God, I'm actually just really enjoying this part of my life right now, because you're thinking career, you're thinking about your part-time job, you're thinking about furthering yourself, getting the most out of whatever it is, and you're not probably present. So I suppose in a roundabout way is being more present as a student, because it's one beautiful phase in your life where you've no money, you've all the time in the world, and
Yeah.
you've all the energy and everything else, no real commitments. And I think you'll be let off with nearly anything being a student. Like, people won't maybe ask you to pay for something, or they mightn't ask you to, they mightn't put too much pressure on you or too much stress, and you can actually get away with quite a lot being a student, and maybe it's not enjoying that enough. So that's my words of wisdom. But over to you, Kes.
Okay, so I think
Give me a round of applause. Don't want to joke.
like don't be scared. I think I was like really scared at the start, but then I realized there's a lot of people in the same boat. Like with presentations, like speaking in a different language, a lot of people are scared to go there and talk in front of everyone. It's just not like you, like everyone has that thing, and
Yeah.
if you practice, like you can overcome,
And a lot
once
of
you
people
get
are in
used
the
to it.
same
Yeah,
boat.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Iona?
Yeah, what you two said, I agree with.
Yeah.
But I would also say, try and get involved as much. I feel as though I was avoiding
You didn't know that in first year.
to get involved.
What you know now that you wish you knew in first year?
I wish I would have.
You were involved in everything.
You're
now.
the president
First
for
year?
Musical Society. What are you talking about?
I was just involved in the music society. I went to one SU event.
Okay.
Oh, fair
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to any of the trips. I wish I go
can't
to the
believe it. You
trips.
didn't go to any
No.
bar to burn at Charlie.
No, didn't go to anything. Didn't
That's
go to the
scary.
trips. I wish I went to the trips
Why did you not go to Bundoran?
because I didn't have friends that were going to Bundoran.
Ah.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, that's a great message. And one thing, and that breaks my heart when I hear that, because that's what the trip is about. Like, no one
Yeah.
is isolated. Like, literally, you arrive on the bus, and it's just a party environment straight away. Everyone is really laid back. It's a holiday,
Yeah.
and it's
And you make
It's-
friends there, no?
really, and anyone who maybe is apprehensive because of that, I'll be there. I'll be your friend.
Me too.
Really?
Kes won't, but maybe Ross and Iona will be, because I'm only joking. I feel like
I'm really
targeting
nice.
you.
Okay, yeah. See,
No.
guys, I'm really nice. Please talk to me when you see me.
No, but we are on hand for that, and part of our mission is to bridge that gap
Yeah.
between people. So do not be alarmed if you've no friends to come to an event. You can make friends with us, and
definitely.
we're actively, I suppose, targeting that during events
Yeah.
that we're trying to talk to people and connect dots, and that's where friendships form. So don't be afraid. You have the SU team.
That was cute.
What about you, Ross? Have you got anything you wish you knew? Well, you know now that you wish you knew in first year.
Don't get myself too worked over like small things, like not stressing over it all the time. I find myself in first year, because obviously I went in first year college.
Yeah.
Never studied before. I was getting overworked, and I was like getting anxious about doing assignments because I was stressed.
Because you weren't doing them.
Yeah, I wasn't doing them. I wasn't doing them before, and I was like doing them. I was like, how do I start off doing an assignment?
Yeah,
That's the main thing. I was like, hadn't a clue where to begin. So that's the one thing. I was like, don't worry, there's people out there to help you.
Yeah.
Go look for it.
And I think obviously the lecturers are a great support, and the library as well, which we've alluded to, are fantastic supports. But I suppose I know we've another workshop, we've another podcast on getting started with assignments coming up, so we probably won't go into it too much. But start early is the probably message there, and just start something.
Yeah.
Even if it's tiny, start it.
80% of the work would be doing the first 20.
No.
Oh no, not this again.
No. 20.
He's trying to explain
this.
this.
20. Anyway, 80 I'm sure you know what I mean.
You'll remember.
Yeah.
You'll remember it.
Okay. Well, look, lots of wisdom there. I got one last question. Okay. You can one or two
That was a big breath.
things. The non-negotiables for getting started in college. 2 things. That's what it is. So 2 things you have to do to get started properly in college. So I will start first.
Okay.
Obviously.
You're gonna take all the
Oh
best
yeah, I was
ones.
gonna say that. Please don't.
Go first. 2 things to get started with in college.
Actually, you go first.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go first. This is typical. This is typical. No, I would say 2 important things is obviously figuring out the information system. So the IT stuff is really important, like Moodle, so important, and getting familiar with your calendar. I think they're 2 really important things in getting started in college. So you can use your calendar properly for exercising, for classes, for getting up early, socializing with friends. They're 2, I think, really important things to surviving during your time in college. So your calendar and figuring out the Moodle, which is where all your notes and lecture slides will be. I've left loads for you there, lads.
Yeah,
No?
you did.
Ross.
I can go next before everyone.
Okay,
takes-
go.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Sign up
Jesus.
for a library workshop. Really important. You get to learn a lot, and there's a lot of resources that people sometimes don't know because they just don't look for it. But do it. Library workshops and join stuff, societies, sports club, whatever, and keep organized. I gave 3, so.
Okay.
Well, that's the one
Keep
less
it
for me, isn't it?
Socialize.
Socializing.
Yeah, definitely socialize. And just keep on top of your emails.
Your email. Yeah, I think that's really important because
Keep on top
people
of it.
are confused and most of the information is in their inbox somewhere.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Spam you'll find it. If you go on email, you'll definitely find it somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it's just being a more active learner. Like you're kind of saying, take responsibility for your calendar, take responsibility for your emails, take responsibility for scheduling of your time.
Definitely.
I think that's just being more engaged, really. So I think that's a key message there. But no, good one. Iona, the final word with you. Unfortunately,
No pressure.
2 non-negotiables in getting started.
Go to class.
Go to class. That is bread and butter stuff. Go to class. That is
Go
very
to class.
true. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, go to class, and then Kes don't mind. I was gonna say join a club and society because I actually do really believe in that. But I'll
You
say
can take
another
it.
one. No, it's
Go
too
to
late.
events.
You said it, huh?
Go to
Go
events.
to events is a pretty good one
Yeah.
because I'm so focused on making friends.
Last one. Is that it?
Well, yeah, it was 2, but
I'd say it was more like 1.5, but we'll leave it
Oh
there.
my
So we'll leave
goodness.
it there. But no, I think that's us for today. So plenty of words of wisdom in terms of getting started in college life. I want to thank the guys for their wisdom today, and I'm sure we've got nearly 6 years worth of college experience behind us. Am I right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Two
you
and two.
haven't done it yet, yeah.
Well, going into it.
You're
Yeah, but
going.
we haven't done it.
Well,
Doing it.
I'll say 6
haven't
years
done it.
worth of wisdom behind you at college. So I hope you've benefited from that. There's a lot to look forward to for induction week and for freshers week coming up. We'll have more updates on our at DBS Student Experience on our Instagram. You can keep an eye out for all of our events and activities. But from then, I just want to say thanks, guys. Anthony, you want to throw in before we go?
Whoop!
Oh, sorry.
No, all good.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure to open your emails. What's on a DBS every
Oh, yeah.
Friday, 12 o'clock.
Go to
Open it.
class.
In your inbox.
Yes.
We're just seeing random words
Yeah. Okay.
now.
Well, that's it. Anyone want to go with the last word? I'll go with the last word. We will see you during the week ahead, and hope to meet many of your lovely faces on the campus over the next week. So we will see you soon. So that's
See
it
you.
from us. Thanks a
Bye,
lot, guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.